of play during her at-bats, too, just fighting away to get something that she can get a hold of.
First pitch is whacked by Kiki Malloy, just fouled down the right field side, fouled by maybe a foot or two. And we are off and running in Columbia on this Monday night here on SEC Network. Kiki Malloy was held hitless in yesterday's game, though she was on base 3 times. And it ended an 18-game hitting streak for Kiki. Tennessee 25-4 overall, 17 straight wins, 5-0 in conference. They're the only unbeaten left in conference play in the SEC. Texas A&M off to an 8-1 start. And the team that won the regular season last year, Tennessee, also won the SEC tournament and won the tournament title game against South Carolina.
That was a great matchup between these two teams, too. Donnie Gobourne in the circle for South Carolina. And we talked about it just briefly a minute ago about how we thought for a second maybe we were going to see Elena Vaught start for South Carolina yesterday, but because she throws primarily down in the zone, I feel like she's a good matchup going up against this Tennessee offense because of those drop balls. Whereas Marchetko, she can go down. We've already seen one drop ball that she's thrown here to Kiki Malloy, but she likes to throw the balls up in the zone. She's got a rise ball, curve ball, screw ball that she throw at the top of the part of the zone to try to get them to hit some fly ball outs.
That hit Kiki in the foot of the leg. Pops out the third baseman Denver Bryant, but a foul ball, staying 2 balls, 2 strikes on Malloy.
I'd imagine, too, it's maybe more of an all-hands-on-deck mentality, too, here with it being Game 3 of this series, really for both teams.
Changeup is away, and it's a full count. And Tennessee's 5-0 to start conference play. South Carolina 0-5. Of those 5 losses, 3 have been by a run, including extra innings here on Saturday. Ground ball out to shortstop. That's gathered by Brooke Blankenship. And that's the way the game begins. Kiki grounds out to short. Head coach Karen Weekly's team, we mentioned, off to a rolling start. 9-0 on the road this year. Their 4 losses have come on so-called neutral sites. As you see, she's not far away from 1,300 career wins. 1-1 to Zeta Pooney. Two hits in the first game of this series for Zeta. Back on Saturday, Mike had an RBI that tied the game at 1 in the 3rd inning, and then it took 10. That's slow ground ball to short, backhanded, and the throw by Blankenship in time to get Pooney. With 2 ground balls to short, 2 outs to begin the game.
I wonder if hitting the ball on the ground is going to be an intentional adjustment for Tennessee today, because after Kiki Malloy had that long at-bat where she hit the ground ball to shortstop, she was high-fived as she ran through first base, and then she was high-fived by everybody coming into the dugout. Even Coach Karen Weekly was clapping after she was thrown out at first base. So I'm wondering if that's something that we're going to see throughout this game with Marchetko in the circle. Could be a busy night over on the left side for Brooke Blankenship and Denver Bryant with all the righties in this Tennessee lineup.
Yeah, definitely thinking so. As you look down the batting order for Tennessee, McKenna Gibson gets ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Marchetko has pitched in each of the first 2 games of this series. She went 7 innings against Tennessee in that 10-inning game on Saturday. Only allowed 1 run, 5 hits, did take the loss, giving up that run in the 10th. And they pitched an inning and a 1/3 of relief yesterday and did not allow a run. That's popped up left side. Denver Bryant under it, makes the catch. 3 balls to the left side, 3 outs.
Field, but she, in my opinion, has just shown so much more confidence this season than what we saw from her last season. She's always had the high velocity with her fastball.
First pitch swinging, and that's hit by Jen Cummings on the ground at first. Nice backhand by Pooney, who takes it herself. 1 pitch, 1 out. South Carolina Gamecocks head coach Beverly Smith. A little change in the lineup. Got Blampede, who had been leading off first couple of games in the 2 spot. Denver Bryant moves up to the 3 hole.
Coach seems like she's bunching together the players that have had success so far in this series, trying to put them right up there at the top to see if they can get some runs across.
Blampede 2 hits yesterday against Tennessee, also a walk. One of those hits was a double. .324 on the season for the senior from Georgia. I don't know what she is topped out at, but she's definitely going to ride 72, 73 miles per hour.
Consistently. It doesn't matter if the game's 7 innings or 10 innings. She's going to throw that 72, 73 mile per hour heat. Because that was something I was watching in game 1 too, is to see if her velocity started to dip as the game went on, but no, it stayed right up there.
Which is incredible in itself. To have that velocity, number one, then to maintain it deep into a game.
And I think it's because it's so effortless in her delivery, using those long levers to her advantage. And also it helps too, by the time she strides, that front foot's practically out of the circle just because of how tall she is. Even more difficult for a batter. The pitch velocity is already getting on you very quickly, but by the time she releases it, it feels like she's practically standing right in front of you.
Ooh, strike 3 call on that 3-2 pitch. Blampede, I think, thought that was going to be outside, but it is the first strikeout for Carlin Pickens. Beverly Smith, our mic'd up Monday, number 3 of the season. We're happy that Coach Smith is wearing the mic tonight. We've already gotten some really good stuff. Little tease there. Ball 1 to Denver Bryant. Auburn transfer, a double in yesterday's game. Has a hit in each of the first 2 games of the series.
You mentioned the close losses that South Carolina's had so far in SEC play. They were just missing that timely hit, and Denver Bryant was one of the players yesterday that had a timely hit with a runner on base, but unfortunately the runner tripped as she was coming in to score. Ended up being thrown out to end the inning.
Yeah, it was that kind of day yesterday for South Carolina.
There you go.
They come in at 22-9 on the year, but 0-5 in conference play. Speed pitch, strike on the inside corner. That's been the big change for Carlin Pickens this year, is the frequency in the development of her changeup.
And how often she's throwing it for strikes too. It's one thing to just have the pitch, but it's another thing to be able to throw it for strikes even late into counts. I've seen her throw it on full counts, and even Coach Weekly said that wasn't something that we would call in those types of situations last year, but because she worked so hard on it in the fall and coming into this season, she feels a lot of confidence in that changeup this year.
Went to a full count on Blampede, got a called strike 3 and a 3-2. Bryant has popped up on the infield, and Destiny Rodriguez wants that. The second baseman makes
the entire time we were hearing that conversation going on in the bullpen. And I will say, I feel like I learned a little bit more about how the electronic pitch communication works, because Coach Staley was over there learning how to get the pitches, the signs from the dugout to the catcher and out to the pitcher. So it was educational along with being entertaining.
We may see some of that. We'll see what the editors have for more of the Mic'd Up Monday, but it was great. You're right. They were using the new system out in the bullpen before the game, and Coach Staley was getting some exposure to that.
I don't think she liked the pitches being called for her first pitch. She shook off a few before she finally fired one into Desiderio. I don't know if it quite hit the 68 mile per hour mark.
No. She's still here, of course, catching the game there in the dugout. One of the coaching legends we have in all the sports.
They had themselves a big win yesterday over
They did indeed.
North Carolina.
They thumped UNC.
I was going to say big might be the understatement of the year. 88-41 final score there.
Yeah, it was great to see that game on ABC yesterday. But yeah, as it turned out, I think Carolina had a 3-2 lead at one point early in the game, and that was it. And then,
Malaysia Fulwiley with 20 points yesterday.
I had a nice chat with her after the game.
Only team undefeated
They
still,
are
correct?
unbeaten, yes. Riley West waiting on a 3-2 pitch from Marjetko. And that is strike 3 call on the inside corner. But one of those two games is going to win it, and when the winner's there, then we're the one we'll start our prep. And that ball smacked towards center field. Blampe back to the warning track and runs down that ball off the bat from Destiny Rodriguez, who hit it a good ways to just about straightaway center field.
She's swinging the bat incredibly well. I know she didn't get the result that she wanted there, but she got a good piece of barrel on that pitch. Looked like a rise ball up and inside from Marjetko that she was still able to get her hands inside of that pitch to hit it to center field. But you'll see Marjetko like to work those rise balls in underneath the hands of those right-handed batters. She takes a bit off of some of those pitches too. Likes to mix speeds a little bit more than you see. Not your true traditional changeup where you're going to see that 10 to 12 mile per hour drop in velocity, but she takes just enough off of those pitches to get some of these swings out in front.
Well, we're talking with Coach Smith about her changeup. Coach Smith said, well, she's got really a couple of different changeups.
Which makes it even more difficult to hit off of her.
So not just one. She's there with Kevin McGuire, one of her assistants. You and I were chatting with Coach McGuire before the game, and he was telling us about how they prepare for Carlin Pickens, where they get the pitching machine and they basically set it up about 25 or 30 feet away from the hitters to try to simulate the velocity.
And you crank it up as high as it'll possibly go. You want it to seem harder in practice than it is in the game.
Taylor Panel bounces it behind first. Jen Cummings takes it to the back. 3 unassisted, 6 up, 6 down.
Of pitches out there, and she's been pitching extremely well for Texas A&M. Another high velocity thrower, but she comes from the left side. I think she's done some really great things so far for the Aggies, and offensively getting some power from people like Trinity Cannon and Julia Cottrell, Jasmine Hill as well.
Deanna Jones leading off for South Carolina, and she gets ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Redshirt senior from British Columbia, Canada. That's kind of unfair when you're looking really for some serious velo and you're ahead in the count and you get something that's not that.
You really have to pick which speed you want to go after. Do you want to take a chance and try to sit one of those off-speed pitches, or do you want to go after her fastballs or drop balls? Because when you get caught in between, that's not a spot that you want to be in as a batter.
I wouldn't want to be sitting soft and get hard, because you would look extremely foolish swinging that. You'd be so far behind it.
Well, the bonus is you would be so late for the high velocity stuff, then you might be on time for the changeups, right?
Ooh, not bad, not bad. All right, slow roller past Pickens, and no play there for Destiny Rodriguez. Slow developing on that ground ball, but Deanna Jones will take that. It's an infield hit.
Still looks like a base hit. Line drive in the scorebooks, Mark, on that one. Off the end of the bat. Here looks like another off speed. Maybe she took a bit off of that pitch. A lot of spin on it, and Destiny Rodriguez tried to make a play, but because of the spin, it seemed like it moved around a bit in her glove, so she couldn't get that grip on the softball. And a leadoff on board for South Carolina.
The circle Tennessee ready to go. Leadoff hit by Jones is bring up Anaya Black, who is the DP tonight. Black played in the first game, went 0 for 2, did not play in yesterday's contest. Back in the starting lineup, transfer from Georgia. 2 balls, no strikes. And out of the dugout is Megan Rhodes Smith, the pitching coach for Tennessee.
You saw this happen a couple.
Started and allowed a run in the first inning. She had gone something like 46 consecutive scoreless innings prior to giving up that run in the first inning on Saturday.
And already you can see exactly why she's been able to have the success that she's had this season. You take that velocity, you put it with the changeup. It's difficult for people to game plan against. See the numbers for South Carolina struggling with runners in scoring position so far this series, and that's that matter of getting that timely hit that Coach Bev Smith said that they have been looking for throughout conference play so far.
It has been AWOL. Let's see what Black gets on a 3-1 pitch from Carlin Pickens. Black, who was a 3-sport athlete back at Dodge County High School in Georgia, softball, basketball, and track and field. Almost an instant replay there. That can't feel too good. She does have the guard on that left shin area, and I think that was well used there.
Still probably doesn't feel good. Luckily for her, I think it's hitting maybe the ground before it's hitting that leg.
Taking a little bit of that sting off, but it's still got quite a bit, I bet. 3-2 pitch again. It's off the glove of Pickens. It's going to trickle to the right side, and no play for Rodriguez when she gets to it. A comebacker to Pickens. That should be a base hit for Nia Black, and it's 2 on, nobody out.
You could see Nia Black throughout this at-bat trying to adjust to the pitch outside, which is why I'm really surprised that Tennessee continued to throw the same pitch away to Nia Black 3 times in a row. She fouled off those 2 before down into the dirt, and then finally got enough of that one to drive it past Carlin Pickens.
Kai Ricks is going to come off the bench. She's going to run at first base for Nia Black. Well, here's an early opportunity for South Carolina, Maddie. It's 2 on, nobody out. Harley Henderson went 1 for 4. It's Pickens in the first game on Saturday. Lays down a perfect bunt. Throw to first. Katsoyanopoulos in time, but Henderson lays down the perfect sacrifice bunt, advancing Jones over to third, Ricks over to second.
Textbook sacrifice bunt. Beautiful bunt. She gets it off of the end of the bat. She watches it down into fair territory. Forces Katsoyanopoulos to come out from behind home plate to make that play. Great execution there by South Carolina.
Left-handed bat comes up here, and second baseman Carly Shelton.
Go threes. Good job.
Nearby Lexington, South Carolina. Infield in tight. Foul tip. Ball and a strike.
Carlin Pickens didn't give up a ton of hits in game 1 to South Carolina, but one interesting theme that I noticed with all the hits was that 4 of the 6 hits that South Carolina had all came from left-handed batters, and here they are in a situation with 2 runners in scoring position with a left-handed batter up at the plate.
Foul off the leg of Shelton. So you got 3 left-handed bats in the lineup tonight. Cummings, Carly Henderson, Carly Shelton, South Carolina.
And those are the same 3 lefties that started game 1. All 3 of those lefties recorded a hit in game 1.
And a strikeout of Shelton. Second of the game for Pickens, and she gets the second out of the inning.
So I guarantee Pickens went back and saw the film, noticed that the lefties got those hits in game 1 because she completely changed her game plan against the lefties in this at-bat. Started Shelton, all with inside pitches, fastballs on the inside part of the plate, and then when you get her thinking about the velocity, that's when you bust in the changeup.
Julia Desiderio rolls it foul. So Pickens in that game Saturday went 9 innings through 129 pitches, 6 hits allowed, 1 run, didn't walk anybody, struck out 9. So the run she allowed in the first inning of the game here on Saturday, the only earned run she's allowed in her last 56 innings. I'll tell you what, these foul balls off the legs of the hitter has already become a routine here.
I can tell you from experience that does not feel good. You know, as a batter, you never want to make the pitcher feel like it hurts you, but I'm telling you, it hurts when it hits you in the foot. I always tried to pretend that it didn't actually hit me, even though on the inside I was yelling at myself for hitting my own foot.
I have no doubt that hurts.
You don't want to experience that?
I do not. I do not have to experience it. That's towards the hole. Meadler got her at first base. Laura Meadler. Evidently, they're all fans of Dua Lipa.
Who isn't a fan?
Yeah, true. Very true. Bottom 3 up here for Tennessee. Sophia Nugent. Had a double in the first game of the series on Saturday. True freshman Sage Marjetko in the circle for South Carolina has retired the first 6 Tennessee batters of the game. And that ends here with a ball dropped into right center field. Cut off on the warning track by Carly Henderson. Not before Nugent slides into second.
So good for them throughout her career. Offensively, just trying to look for that consistent run production behind her when she's out there in the circle for them. Looks like Julia Katsoyanopoulos making sure that she's got the armband with the offensive signs. You can have the electronic communication on defense, but you can't have it on offense, so that's why you still have to use those armbands.
Wants to bunt. Apparently got a little piece of it. Fouled it to the backstop. Nugent with the leadoff double. 6th of the season. Bunted in the air, and that is caught by the catcher, Julia Desiderio. Tennessee unable to get the bunt down. And that's the first out of the inning.
It's exactly what you do not want if you're trying to lay down a sacrifice bunt. This one's at the top part of the zone. Her barrel gets underneath that pitch, and a really nice play by Julia Desiderio back behind the plate to go ahead and track that one and secure out number 1.
Brings up Laura Meadler.
Good pitch.
2-run home run for her came in yesterday's game. Transfer from Middle Tennessee State. Off to a very good start in her first year with the Lady Vols. We are almost one time through the order here. How has Sage Marjetko handled Lady Vols, at least to this point?
For the most part, she's looked really good. I think the only mistake really that she's made was the 2-0 pitch to Sophia Nugent that she took advantage of, knowing that the hitter's going to be a little bit more aggressive in those hitters' leverage counts. Left what looked like a drop ball on the outside part of the plate a bit further up in the zone than I think she would like to locate it, but for the most part, she's staying right on the edges of that strike zone. Another example right there, a great pitch.
Which she has done 7 times this year. Grounds that through the hole left side. Nugent will stop at third. It's played in by Kiana Jones. And Meadler picks up her second hit of the series. And now Tennessee with runners at the corners, 1 out.
You notice with her swing too, and you see the rest of this Tennessee offense. Runners in scoring position 2 for 14 so far this weekend. Those 5 hits with runners on base. But coming up with those quality at-bats when you've got runners in scoring position is so big for all these teams moving down the stretch. And that swing by Laura Mueller with 2 strikes, getting that changeup with her swing, her foot almost hovers in the air for a bit, and that's part of her timing mechanism. And she recognized that changeup so quickly out of the hand of Marjetko that it just hovered there before she planted her foot down and smoked that ball through the 5-6 hole.
Kiki Malloy began the game with a ground out to short. She comes up with runners at the corners and 1 out. Already a chance here for Tennessee after seeing the first 6 batters retired by Marjetko. Leadoff double by Nugent. That single by Mueller, and now Kiki. '65 career home runs, so she owns the school record there, and she's owns a single season record with 25 a year ago. There goes the trailing runner. The throw cut off by Blankenship. That was stolen base for Mueller, her 6th of the season. And now 2 in scoring position for Malloy. By the time Kiki Malloy is done with this season, there's not going to be any offensive record for Tennessee that she won't hold. Any significant one anyway.
She's chasing down a few more records. Stolen bases, I believe, is one of them.
Yep. She's 7 behind Siobhan there, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Siobhan and India Childs, I believe, is up there on that list.
3-1 pitch. And Malloy rips it foul.
Speaking of Raven, it was Raven Siobhan's birthday yesterday. So a happy belated birthday to Raven Siobhan.
Aren't you taking care of the old friends and teammates, huh?
Yeah, I have to, right?
Off the glove. They get the out at first, and staying at third is Nugent. She kind of got hung up in no man's land, stopped, and then really didn't get restarted. But the pitcher, Marjetko, never really looked that way. She was just concerned with the out at first and basically conceding the run.
And because of that, Coach Karen Weekly looked very frustrated after she saw that Nugent didn't take off from third base. You can see her still over there talking to her about it. As soon as the pitcher, Marjetko, had her back turned to Nugent, that gave her the opportunity to go ahead and score.
So it stays runners at second and third now. 2 outs for Zeta Pooney, who grounded out to short in the first inning. Oh, it was Carlin Pickens who got out of a 2-out nobody out, 2-on nobody out jam, that is, in the last inning, and now it's Marjetko trying to get out of a jam. After the shoulder surgery, Pooney's starting to feel more like herself last several weeks.
When you're out for some time with an injury, it's hard to get your timing back as a batter, especially when you get thrown right into the beginning of the season where you're playing 5-6 games in a weekend. It can take some time to get that consistency back in your swing, and it seems like Pooney's really found it the past several games.
And that's a 4-pitch walk. That's going to load the bases. Let's go back to the at-bat by Kiki Malloy on this comebacker.
Hard hit ball off of her bat, too. A nice job by Marjetko to knock this one down, but you see how she never even turns around to look at Sophia Nugent because she knows she's probably not going to have a shot to get her out. So she goes ahead and gets the out over at first base, and that's where that frustration's coming from Coach Weekly, why Nugent wasn't able to score on that play.
I'm sure when Marjetko turned back around and saw Nugent still at third, she thought to herself, oh, you're still there. Thank you very much.
It's a gift, right? Back to the pitcher when she doesn't score on that one. And as a runner, too, as soon as you have that slight bit of hesitation, you go ahead and just stay at the base that you're at, because you never want to hesitate and then try to take off again, because then it makes for an easy out at the next base. So as soon as you hesitate, stay there. But that's where those little things start to add up as you get through the rest of conference play and, of course, into postseason play. those little decisions can make a big difference in some of those games.
Nugent, Mealer, Pooney all on base. And McKenna Gibson is now ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Marjetko has averted damage so far, but she's in a really dangerous spot right here. Big numbers with runners in scoring position for Boo.
425 with runners in scoring position this year. Pretty incredible.
Smokes one foul right off the roof of that adjacent building.
Good location for that screwball, though. To those right-handed batters, you can get them to swing at that pitch that's off the plate inside. The most damage they're going to do is a long foul ball down the left field line.
So from 2-0 to 2-2. And strike 3 call on the inside. Well, I'm just guessing on that one.
Yeah, I think that's a good guess on your part.
Am I on the right path?
I think so. A lot of speed for Ricks.
First pitch swinging, grounded to second base. Destiny Rodriguez goes out Blankenship.
I can say with absolute certainty that none of my coaches ever referred to me as a Lamborghini. I love hearing all the little nicknames during these Mic'd Up Mondays, seeing these coaches interact with the teams during the games. Just that little extra bit of insight that we get to be a part of.
The best parts of Monday night. Did you have any other nicknames that we didn't know about that you can actually talk about on air?
We can share that.
Oh, okay. Now you have the viewer thinking.
Yep, trying to guess.
What could maybe have been called that she can't even talk about on air?
No, I would say mine were mostly boring. Either Maddie or shorten my last name to Ship. That was about the extent of the nicknames, at least that I heard of. There could be more out there. I don't know.
Well, you may find out. Carlin Pickens, 2 balls, no strikes to Cummings. Well, both sides have had an opportunity to get in the run column. Both sides failed to do so.
Really good job by the pitchers, too, getting some big strikeouts with runners on board.
And there's a 4-pitch walk to Cummings. First free pass handed out by Carlin Pickens, who did not allow a walk in 9 innings that she pitched here on Saturdays. That's her first walk of the series.
You're seeing her miss her spots just a bit more than we've seen in previous games, but she's still fighting her way through it. That was something that she really battled all season long last year. She worked in the offseason to improve her command on her drop ball and her rise ball, and of course she's got that fastball that she can go to if she needs to.
Slow ground ball charged by Destiny. And Rodriguez able to get Blampied at first base. It does advance. Cummings down to second, but there are 2 outs. And when we get to the next inning, we'll chat with head coach Karen Weekly, the Tennessee head coach. So we'll mic her up in that fashion. Get a little bit from the Lady Vols head coach.
Talking to Karen before this series, we asked her what were some of the things that they did in this offseason to help Carlin Pickens with her command on her pitches, and she said really we went the entire fall without throwing a fastball. Really forced her to get more comfortable with the drop ball, with the rise ball, and of course that changeup that we've been talking about throughout today's ball game. Then that way when she got to season, because she had thrown those pitches so much, she got a lot more comfortable with them, could throw them in counts, throw them for strikes consistently. And then at that point, you can work back in the fastball, the pitch that you're most comfortable throwing.
It's that past Bryant. And is ahead of ball and 2 strikes. Apparently Carlin hit the weight room pretty well in the offseason as well and added muscle to that frame in addition. thought she had strike 3 on the inside corner.
I like the confidence, too, that we see from her. Even right there, that pitch, she liked that pitch on the inside part of the plate. She thought that was going to be called for strike 3. Took a couple of steps towards the dugout and quickly retreated back when she saw it wasn't going to be called for strike 3.
Almost sent that one to the backstop. Good play by Soyanopoulos to keep it from going to the screen.
Not easy to do to jump out of that squat at 72 miles per hour either.
You don't have much time to get up there, do you?
No.
3-2 pitch coming to Denver Bryant. Missed inside, ball 4. That's the second walk of the inning. I always wonder where a pitcher's mentality is when they think they have strike 3 or an out to end the inning, and then have to kind of re-click the brain all of a sudden, like, okay, the inning's not over. I got to get back to it.
And it seemed like she was going back to that same spot on the inside part of the strike zone to Denver Bryant, just missing a little bit more inside, but trying to play up that velocity, making it even tougher for the righties to get that barrel on the ball on the inside part of the plate. And then when you think you catch up, she pulls the string on it.
This pitch change up to Jones.
That's an added tool for her that she can bust out too when she starts to see that these batters are trying to time up her fastballs and her drop balls, be able to sprinkle in that changeup.
Well, I know hitters, whether it be in softball or baseball, don't like it when you use the term they're guessing what's going to come. But in reality, a lot of times that's what they're doing.
I like to call it anticipation, having a level of anticipation of what the pitcher is going to throw.
Even you don't like the word guessing because it implies that you really don't know what's going on.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
0-2 pitch. There's the change piece again. The Lady Vols, Karen Weekly. Hey, Coach, you just gathered your team up. Can you share what the message was to the team just a few moments ago?
Play smarter, not harder. You know, just situationally, we get there, lead off double, perfect bunt situation, and, we don't kind of think through what she might try to do to us, and goes up twice, and we end up popping it out. And, we could have had a run because we end up getting a hit, but not a situation where we could send that runner from second. And then just, from the pitching side of it, just get ahead. Get ahead. We're having to work ourselves out of, hitters counts, and we're having to work ourselves out of jams. And we know what the umpire's going to call and not call, so, let's do our thing.
And, Coach, what's it been like for you to call pitches for somebody like Carlin Pickens, having such a drastically different off-speed pitch than what we saw from her last year, but having that to go to in games like this?
It's fun. I mean, and the fact that she trusts it and we can use it, in 2-0, 2-1, 3-2, that's a big difference in Carlin from last year. She's got command of it, and it's a lot of fun to call those.
And fun to watch. We always appreciate the time. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And Coach Karen Weekly.
Looks like Carlin's still having fun in the dugout over there, too.
She always breaks out that smile, so she's having fun out there.
She finds her way in the background of the coaches' interviews, too, so she's figured out those spots. I believe they were showcasing some snacks behind Coach Karen Weekly yesterday in the interview. Always got to keep your eyes on the players when they're in the background.
It's a pretty interesting sideshow. Riley West leading off. Takes down low. Next pitch from Sage Margetko will be her 50th of the game. Four, 5, and 6 part of the order for Tennessee. Riley West, a 2-run home run in yesterday's game. 8th home run of the season for West. And a 4-pitch walk begins the top of the 4th.
None of those pitches were really even close to the strike zone. We've seen Margetko kind of dance around the outside of that zone, probably trying to just make sure she doesn't leave anything too much over the heart of the plate because of the damage that you see top to bottom in this Tennessee offense.
Katie Taylor going to run at first base for Riley West. So Leadoff batter is on for the second consecutive inning for Tennessee. And you see the catcher, Julia Desiderio, has got to make sure that earpiece in her left ear is in the right spot. And it keeps falling out. That was a problem for her yesterday,
Yeah,
too.
I wonder if when the helmet's getting adjusted, if that's what's making it pop out of her ear.
Looks like her the length of her cable is a bit too long. Maybe can you shorten that up?
You'd think so. You can kind of see it right there below her mask.
So she is hearing from head coach Beverly Smith directly Bev's voice. That ball's hit deep towards left field. Jones over her head up against the fence. Here comes Taylor around third, and she's going to score without a throw. Destiny Rodriguez continuing to shine. An RBI double, 1-0 Tennessee.
Watch the way she keeps her hands inside. That means her barrel's staying through the zone incredibly long. That's how she's able to get that power and that pop behind her swing. But look at how long it takes for Kiana Jones to get this ball into home plate. It felt like that relay just was not coming in as quickly as it should have been, and because of that, and because of the good jump by Katie Taylor off of first base, she's able to score easily on that double out to left field.
So for Rodriguez, her second two-base hit of the season, 14th run batted in, and they're going to pinch run for her as well with Amanda Allen. Still nobody out here in the Tennessee fourth inning. Second time through the order here for Tennessee. Panel bunts off the glove of Bryant, and everybody's going to be safe. Well, Bryant charging and came in so far that it was almost over her head, reached up, got the lip of the glove on it, but couldn't catch it.
One of those times where Taylor Panel actually mishits this bunt so well that it works out for her. It almost was a line drive coming off of her bat when she was just trying to get it down on the ground in front of her. Another one of those high pitches up in the zone.
That'll go as a bunt base hit for Taylor Panel, and it's first and third. Nobody out for Sophia Nugent, who doubled in her first at bat and takes strike one. No throw down to second as Panel picks up her first stolen base of the season.
Hard for me to put that one down as a hit in my scorebook, Mark.
You and your official score that lives inside your head.
I know. It happens every game. It really does.
You do realize that what you put in the book isn't what winds up as the official stats.
It's very true. It's very true.
Yeah. Sophia Nugent rips it foul. That's just, I guess, a gentle reminder when you look back and you know, like, yeah, I disagreed with the official scorer there.
Yeah. And it's going to happen, right?
Well, but I think you described it perfectly. It was played into a hit the way I look at it because she bunted it, in essence, so badly, almost. She had a line drive over the charging third baseman.
Yeah, it did tip off of Denver Bryant's glove.
So are you insinuating that Bryant should have made the catch? I mean,
that's my thought process on that. That's where I'm going.
I think it turned into a little bit more than ordinary effort. She's coming in.
I do agree with you on that because she was charging so hard, anticipating that the ball, of course, was going to be put down onto the ground.
Which for me makes that a hit. So we can agree to
disagree. Yes.
Yeah, we can still broadcast the game together.
Yes, we can.
Take note, America. No balls, 2 strikes. Nugent's double back in the third was her 6th of the season. Tennessee's already picked up a run in the inning and are threatening to make it a multi-run frame. Sophia Nugent spent a couple of seasons at Oklahoma. She has 2 seasons of college baseball, or college softball, I should say, and 2 national championship rings. Just going to try to get a third one. We're playing in the SEC.
pretty stacked resume for her, and she's done some nice things for Tennessee this year too. Offensively, bringing some more pop to an already powerful lineup. Playing all over the field defensively too. We see her out in the left field today.
And now battling Marjetko with another 1-2 pitch. Off-speed delivery is low.
She's been able to get Tennessee to bite on the pitches inside to the righties, but oftentimes they've been very disciplined on whether it's an off-speed pitch or a drop ball on the outside part of the plate. You can see they're going after the pitches inside. Whether they're low in the zone or up in the zone, we've seen them swing out of the strike zone a couple of times at those pitches.
Nugent continuing to battle Sage Marjetko. Nugent fouls one right side this time. Pitch count up to 66 for Marjetko. Tell you what, Nugent making Marjetko throw a bunch of pitches in this plate appearance.
And she's keeping them up in the zone too. I feel like that's the area I'd stay in. I'd stay right at the top. I wouldn't even mess around with pitches, drop balls down in the zone. There's that changeup that she smokes down the left field line. So far in the game too, we've seen a couple of these Tennessee batters be able to pick up that changeup rather quickly out of her hand. That's that true change. We talked about it earlier, how she throws a variety of different pitches. That's more of the traditional changeup coming out of her hand. If I'm going to mix speeds, maybe go to a bit more of those off-speed pitches rather than that changeup. There's the drop ball outside.
Right now she has the mentality of, I may foul it off, but you're not getting anything past me.
Swing at everything.
The next pitch will be her 14th of this plate appearance.
In all different directions.
Yes.
Dude, she's fouled off everything.
Puts this in play to right field. This should be deep enough to get Allen home from third. The throw's going to come towards third base. Pretty good, very good throw from Carly Henderson, but late as Panel advances to third. A sac fly for Nugent, her 19th RBI. South Carolina gets the first out of the inning, but brings the infield in. Panel at third.
Infield shaded in, trying to cut down the runner at third base. Corner's playing deep.
Strike to Julia Katsoyanopoulos, who fouled out Bunting in her first plate appearance. We were scoreless through the first 3 innings, but Tennessee has scored twice so far here in the 4th. It began with a leadoff walk to Riley West. Destiny Rodriguez doubled her home. Sophia Nugent on the 14th pitch of the at-bat. A sac fly brought in the second run, and now Katsoyanopoulos. Did she go? Yes. It's Destiny Robinson, the umpire at first base, and that's a strikeout of Katsoyanopoulos.
Take a look at the side view here. Well, I don't think she went on that one.
I'm with you on that.
I don't agree with that call.
Visit with head coach Beverly Smith, South Carolina, when we get to the bottom of the 4th. Ball's rocketed towards right center field. Blampede sees it sail over her head and up against the fence. Panel is in, and in with a head first slide at second base is Laura Mueller. Her 21st RBI, and it's been a 3-run inning.
Wasting no time in this at-bat, doing a nice job of keeping her hands inside. Look at the way that she even opens up her front side by stepping out towards third base. drives this inside pitch the opposite direction into that right center gap. A really nice piece of hitting by Laura Mueller. In the eye levels with that pitch. She brings a ton of experience to the South Carolina team, and it's that changeup that she can throw at will in any count that makes a big difference for her. And a lot of people tuning in might be wondering, why didn't Elena Vaughter start this game? And I really did like the move of going with Sage Margetko, just purely because she worked the top half of the zone more than she did the bottom half of the zone. And when you look at a lot of these Tennessee swings, I just feel like they're well suited to hitting a wide variety of pitches, but mostly pitches down in the zone. I feel like that's where they get a lot of their power from. And so I like the move of trying to go with the freshman Margetko, working rise balls, screw balls up and inside.
And that move worked out well for 3 innings anyways. Back to the top of the Tennessee order in Kiki Malloy. She's grounded to short and grounded back to the circle. 2-2 on Kiki.
Bit of an awkward swing there.
It
looked
was.
like she let go with one of the hands.
Vaughter goes down again and gets a strikeout of Malloy to end the threat, but Tennessee scored. Pitched really well those first couple innings through the first 3. Take us in your mind a little bit. We were trying to figure out whether you'd start Vaughter or Sage, and why did you go with Margetko to begin the game?
I think she's a great matchup for their hitters. A lot of fly balls, so that matches up well with Sage and her rise ball, and I think it was she had some good outings against them, and I think that's part of the thing as a freshman. You've got to look a little different on game 3.
And Coach, you guys were able to get a couple of hits back in the second inning, a couple of runners on in the third inning. What are you wanting to see for your team to be able to come through with runners in scoring position?
Yeah, we've got to have a timely hit with runners in scoring position. We've had base runners today. We just got to get that timely hit.
Appreciate the time. Thanks so much for being part of Mic'd Up Monday, Coach.
Great. Appreciate you guys being here.
Our pleasure. Head Coach Beverly Smith. Well, there's some more Mic'd Up Monday still to come, so.
Another teaser for
Yes.
everybody right there.
Look at you giving away the vernacular of the business. That's awesome.
It's taken me a few years, but I feel like I'm catching on a little bit.
Well, Carlin Pickens going to go back to work now with a 3-0 lead to work with. And the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up here for South Carolina. Last year's SEC Freshman of the Year, second team All SEC. And she was actually back-to-back reigning SEC Pitcher of the Week last week and this week. Well, actually, 2 weeks ago and last week, because it's Monday and I forget. But now, yeah, semantics. But she won the award March 11th, and then won it again this past Tuesday on the 19th. I actually shared it with Ole Miss's McKenna Cleathermos. Yeah, high strike. Called to Anaya Black. And an infield hitter first time up.
Little opposite of a strike zone than what we saw in yesterday's ball game. Yesterday's game had a very tight strike zone, and we've seen a couple of those high pitches called already today. It does change your game plan, of course, for the pitching. You're trying to figure out the strike zone, but also for the hitter too. You're trying to figure out what you want to go after within an at-bat, especially dealing with the speed of Carlin Pickens pitches. And then you have to expand the strike zone up at the plate. Not an easy task.
Okay.
And then that one's called for a ball. So go ahead and just throw that out the window.
Well, when you have a 3-person umpiring crew and you play 3 games in a series,
it's part of the game, adjusting to the zones,
yeah,
right?
you're going to see 3 different zones in 3 days. Slightly different. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Black.
Seems like the first time tonight that we've seen back-to-back changeups thrown from Carlin Pickens. Pretty much in identical locations, too. I'd imagine going back and looking at film, Coach Karen Weekly is going to want to see this changeup a bit lower in the zone, but it's a bit deceptive when it starts moving up in the zone too, because it starts to look like the rise ball that she throws in there.
Fourth strikeout for Pickens. She starts Henderson off. A little foul ball at the plate.
Another changeup, 3 in a row. Now she's thrown.
Now, if you're a hitter, you're thinking she's wouldn't throw 4 straight changeups. I'm sitting.
I'd sit hard.
I'm sitting dead red here.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Henderson had a really good swing against her too in game 1. Just tried to utilize her velocity to her advantage. Got a pitch on the outside part of the plate to her and just poked it straight through that 5-6 hole. It's always difficult going up against high velocity throwers because you want to swing hard to hit those pitches, but oftentimes that can work against you.
Ball's popped up on the infield. Who wants it? Zeta Puni. First base comes down the line. Yeah, if you have somebody that throws as hard as Carlin Pickens, she can provide the power if you square one up to get it out of the ballpark, which is why you see high velocity pitchers, I assume, sometimes give up high number of home runs.
Especially if they throw the ball up in the zone too, then you're more susceptible to giving up the long ball if somebody's able to time up your pitches, get that heart of the barrel on the softball. But when you're facing her level of velocity, you wonder if they start to change the way that they swing to try to catch up to it. At 36.2% overall whiff rate. Man, I can't even
say that fast.
Don't make me say it again. I don't even think I made it through the sentence right the first time. Basically, batters are swinging and missing against her over 36% of the time.
Yes.
I think that came out a little bit more smoothly than the first time.
You know, we could have called that on the graphics strikeout rate, but we knew if we made you say whiff rate, it may entertain us.
It was a whiff on my part up here in the booth.
Ball and 2 strikes. And I like the way you said it. You said her strikeout total, almost kind of implying like she's kind of getting to a level all to herself here these days. And there she goes off speed and gets 2 strikeouts in the inning.
Was up in the zone, mixed in a bit of that off speed and the drop ball's low. But for the most part, kept Tennessee in check until Destiny Rodriguez was the one that got the hit, that got the first run across for Tennessee. But it's a good move being able to mix a couple of different pitches too against this type of offense. Start off the game with somebody up in the zone, then bring in somebody like Elena Vodder, who primarily works down in the zone.
Puni leading off has walked and grounded to short. All SEC first teamer last year for Zeta. Vodder got the final out of the 4th, striking out Kiki Malloy. Well, she begins an inning for the first time tonight. Off speed misses upstairs, 3-1.
You can see that last-minute break down in the zone that she has on that pitch. Zeta Puni just swinging right on top of that drop ball.
Tennessee does not play a midweek this week, so that's actually going to be the next game for Tennessee. Will be Friday at Auburn, starting that Friday, Saturday, Sunday series.
Probably with that quick turnaround with the Monday series here.
One of our conversations with Coach Weekly this weekend, she mentioned as the season progresses, she's not crazy about playing midweek games. She'd rather the team just kind of rest up.
I feel like you kind of get more into that 3-game series mode during conference play too. It can be hard to try to figure out your pitching rotations when you do have that midweek game thrown in there.
Did she go around? Yes. As first base umpire Destiny Robinson. Want to make. Yep.
That's the right call on that one.
Definitely so. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Gibson. Waters come in and struck out all 3 batters she has faced and gets the first 2 on strikes here in the top of the 5th.
She's got a lot of bite on that drop ball tonight. Looks like it's moving a bit more than we saw yesterday. The velocity looks up a bit too. But I love the arm side run to the righties that she has on that drop ball. So not only is it working down in the zone, but it's also working inside as well. Not easy to pitch to get good barrel on, especially when it's coming in at some pretty good velocity.
Riley West comes up. She has walked and scored 0 for 1. First pitch strike. Just a couple of days ago, Riley West was named a Tennessee Torchbearer Award winner this year. 2nd straight year Tennessee softball has been given that honor by the University of Tennessee, as Kiki Malloy won it last year. Riley West wins it this year.
And that's an award that's not just given to student athletes, but it's an award that's given to students in general at the University of Tennessee. A very prestigious award. An award given out for academic achievement, outstanding commitment to others, people that truly embody that volunteer spirit. And I just love the description of this award that the university gives. Recognition as a torchbearer reminds all students that those who bear the torch of enlightenment shadow themselves to give light to others.
Oh,
tough one.
And I'm not saying breaking balls don't have their place, but just
I'm trying to think of the pitchers that I faced that had her type of velocity too, because that's special what she's able to bring. Monica Abbott, somebody that comes to mind that has that type of velocity, and Monica did bust out the changeup every once in a while. But her coming from the left side, of course, and you've got Pickens being the righty. It's a very unique combination of movement along with her velocity, and then of course the consistency in that changeup. Hung on to that one a bit too long. Heard us talking about it, just decided to throw a rogue one in there, making Katsoyanopoulos work back behind the plate. A bit of a smile on her face.
It's the 2nd time she's had to do that tonight, Katsoyanopoulos. It'll take your arm out of the socket, I would think. Desiderio shoots it foul down the right field side. 8-9 and 1 batters for South Carolina. We're now in the bottom of the 5th. All the runs in this game came in the Tennessee 4th. Desiderio with a ground out to short in her first at bat. Just a little bit upstairs, a full count. Five strikeouts, 2 walks so far tonight for Carlin Pickens. And this 3-2 pitch. Up the middle, diving attempt by Rodriguez. It's into center field. 3rd into the game for South Carolina. Their first since the second inning.
Really solid at bat there by Desiderio too, because she just watched a changeup go by for a ball up in the zone, anticipated that she was going to come back with a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Pickens does exactly that, and she drives it straight back up the middle.
Brings up Brooke Blankenship. They're in tight at the infield corners. First pitch strike. You read the facial expression from Blankenship like that's not a strike.
Yeah, I don't think she liked that call very much.
Two balls and two strikes. She's down low. Average a bit above 300 for Brooke. We hit right at the 300 mark a season ago for South Carolina. They get a half dozen strikeouts for Pickens.
All the pitches in that at bat prior to the last one were more low in the zone, about mid-thigh down, and this one's that rise ball up and outside. Just blows it right by Blankenship.
Back to the top of the order for South Carolina. Jen Cummings.
It's impressive. It's not easy to get to those pitches coming in there as fast as they are, and the catcher thinks they're going to end up in one location, going in a completely different spot.
You know, Katsoyanopoulos is a left-handed throwing catcher, so the gloves on the right hand, which, I mean, she's not even the only left-handed throwing catcher in the SEC, so there are some, not a lot.
But it is not something you see
You don't
every
see
day.
it. Yeah.
Moved back behind the plate for the first time in her career last season.
Yeah, that was an interesting story in itself. Like, hey, have you ever caught? No. Okay, we need you to catch.
Yeah, and she did a great job
Good
about
luck.
it too.
Yeah.
And I do feel like I've seen improvements in her catching defensively, even from last season to this season. Seems a lot more comfortable back there. Done a nice job framing up pitches. You can see the athletic movement that she has to be able to get up and get those balls that are up above her head.
And there is strike three on the high outside corner. So the strikeouts coming at a higher frequency this second and now third time through the order.
Well, she's got them thinking about that changeup. We've seen her throw it consistently throughout the game, and with the timing of Cummings' step here, you wonder if she was thinking that a changeup was coming in that count, and instead Pickens goes with another one of those fastballs.
Lampede, big rip and a miss, which gets back to my question earlier. And I probably didn't phrase it well. If a pitcher's only going to throw, can only throw two pitches, fastball, changeup, or maybe, you know, could be drop curve, right? You know, whatever combination you want to make it. Just the speed variation between fastball and change to me would seem like you're just, okay, I'm going to sit one or the other.
You have to pick one or the other. That's what it comes down to, because you cannot possibly be on time for both pitches. And that's ultimately the pitcher's job, right? Is you're trying to throw off the hitter's timing in some way or another, whether it's moving the ball away from a right-handed batter with a curveball, moving it up and in with a rise ball, or of course with that changeup. You're just trying to get that batter off time enough to where they don't square it up.
That's put in play to third on a soft line to Gibson.
A little later into the evening than we did yesterday, but it just seems to have a bit more depth on that pitch than what we saw coming out of her hand in yesterday's ball game against the Lady Volunteers. Another example right there. Arm side run to it too. This is her heat map. This is where she's going to throw majority of her pitches. You'll notice that drop ball location both on the inside and the outside part of the plate, low in the zone. That's the key to her success too. Being able to keep it low, really rely on her defense to make plays behind her when she's not striking out every batter that she's facing.
Facing Destiny Rodriguez, whose RBI double her last time up, broke the scoreless tie back in the 4th inning. Tennessee scored all 3 of their runs in that frame, and Destiny averaged up to 348. And she has another rock solid at bat. Hits that down the left field side. Kiana Jones gets it back in quickly. You just take her collection of plate appearances, these 3 games, she's probably been the most consistent Tennessee hitter this weekend.
Even the outs she's made have been loud outs to the outfield. Just love the at-bats that she's been giving the Volunteers this weekend. And it's on a variety of pitches, too. She's hit rise balls, she's hit drop balls, she's hit changeups. Just has a tenacity about her when she's up there in the box.
She's the first of the 5 hitters that Vaughter has faced to put a ball in play. Winds up with her 2nd hit of the game. Taylor Panel takes it outside for ball 1. Five hits in the series for Destiny Rodriguez. 1 on Saturday, 2 yesterday, 2 so far tonight. Panel with a bunt base hit in the 4th, as well as a stolen base and a run scored. That ball is lined to left field. Kiana Jones plays that on a bounce, quickly fired in to Denver Bryant, and Panel and Rodriguez have begun the 6th with back-to-back base hits to the left field corner.
Solid swings from Rodriguez and now Panel. Utilizing the lower half too. You'll notice a lot of these batters when they're taking swings, whether it's on deck or in between pitches up at the plate, reinforcing that concept of utilizing their lower half, engaging the lower half first before you start to use your arms in your swing. Even right there on Sophia Nugent's take, you could see just how quickly her legs are getting engaged in that swing, and that's what allows you to get the power behind your swings, and also allows you to get down to get some of these drop ball pitches low in the zone.
Nugent's had a good offensive night tonight. Doubled in the 3rd. He drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 4th. That sac fly came as part of a 14-pitch plate appearance.
It was a changeup that she practically golfed off the ground to get it out to right field.
A wedge shot there. Hit that off Sage Morjetko, the starting pitcher. Out of a reach for that. Ball and 2 strikes.
Good looking off-speed pitch from Vaughter. What makes that pitch so deceptive is it comes out of her hand, moving in a similar direction and having similar spin as her drop ball does.
Pulled foul. Off base hit by Destiny Rodriguez. Taylor Panel followed that with a hit of her own. Tennessee looking to add to the 3-0 lead, top of the 6th, getting late here in Columbia. Whacked into center field. It scoots past Blampede, gets to the fence. Rodriguez scoring. It's a double for Nugent. Panel to 3rd. Nugent's 2nd RBI of the game, 20th of the season. It's 4-0.
Impressive how quickly Tennessee's been able to adjust their swing paths too, going up against drop balls now. This one low and outside. Sophia Nugent See that back leg, just how low it gets down to the ground to allow her to get her barrel underneath that low and outside pitch. 3 hard hits in a row from the Volunteers.
Cameron Sarvis going to come in off the bench for Tennessee. She has now appeared in all 3 games of the series. In fact, she had the sacrifice fly in the top of the 10th inning Saturday. Proved to be the difference in the 2-1 win to open the series. Hitting in Konsoyanopoulos' spot. Now Tennessee's going to want to use a pinch runner as Gabby Leach comes off the bench to take Nugent's spot at second base. Probably a chance we'll see Gabby stay in the game and play in the outfield when we get to the bottom of the inning. But that's tonight versus Vaughter. First 4, man. She just came in dealing.
Dealing the drop ball. All 4 strikeouts were on the drop ball, and then now the last 3 batters started with the swing by Destiny Rodriguez. 3 consecutive hits. Line drive shots off these bats.
Come on now.
Like she checked her swing and did indeed. Cameron Sarvis off the bench for Tennessee. 2 in scoring position. Going to twist back this way and get on top of the grandstand. Tennessee now 4 runs, 8 hits. So far, Carlin Pickens has kept South Carolina scoreless on 3 hits. Rose pitch, just a hair off that outside corner, and it's 2-2.
Close take for Sarvis. Little smile on Vaughter's face. You know that's a pitch that she definitely wants called.
Get her, Atlanta. Get her, Atlanta. Good pitch right here. Here you go.
Popped up on the right side, and Carly Shelton squeezes that. And that's the first out of the inning.
You see her just moving these drop balls back and forth from outside to inside, trying to mess with that timing again of these batters. Haven't seen many rise balls, and we know that that's a pitch that she's thrown quite a bit this season to go along with that changeup that she'll bust out. But I'm surprised we haven't seen her try to work in more of those rise balls. Everything's been low in the zone. I just feel like the drop ball might be even more effective if you're changing that eye level a bit more.
At least put it in their head that they might see it.
Exactly. Especially after the success that Margetko had with that pitch in this game.
Past the diving shortstop Blankenship into left center field. It'll score 1. The throw home allows Mealer to take second base. Lauren Mealer with her 3rd hit tonight. Gabby Leach stopped at third base.
Gets a bit jammed on this pitch. Another drop ball, left a little bit up. Just straight past the diving glove of Brooke Blankenship, and she was having to play in right in between the base paths between second and third base because there was a runner over at third to try to cut down that run. Jory Hurd pitched against Tennessee in game 1 of this series, and I thought she threw extremely well. Lena Vaughter, short outing for her, just an inning and 2/3. Gave up those 4 hits. Did have 4 strikeouts the first 4 batters that she faced, but Tennessee very quickly made that adjustment.
Top of the order, and Kiki Malloy with runners at second and third. Still only 1 out here in Tennessee's 6th inning.
Kiki a little late on that swing. One thing you're going to see from Jory Hurd is she is not afraid to throw pitches hard inside to both the righties and the lefties.
She's thrown a little over 100 pitches in this series. 52 in 3 innings on Saturday against Tennessee. Lost 55 in 2 innings yesterday, and Malloy has it popped up. Zoe Leno over near the dugout makes the catch for out number 2.
Again, working the pitch inside, got Kiki Malloy jammed up there. Zoe Leno now over at third base, replacing Denver Bryant. Nice catch over in foul territory near that third base dugout.
So runners still at second and third with 2 outs for Zeta Pooney.
There you go, 2-5.
For 2 with a walk. Free pass came for Zeta in the 3rd inning. This game was scoreless through 3 innings. Tennessee 3 in the 4th. Chased the starting pitcher Jetko. That ball's ripped left field over the head of Kiana Jones and into the screen for a 3-run home run. Zeta Pooney, 7th of the year, and it makes it 8-0.
With the way that Zeta Pooney has been swinging the bat lately, when you look at her numbers, not indicative of how well she's been doing up at the plate. She has so much power. Love the way she utilizes the lower half, opens up the front side, just turns on this pitch. A line drive shot out of the ballpark. Another 3 runs for Tennessee. And now we're into run rule territory here in the top of the 6th inning as the money is flying over there in that Tennessee dugout.
As you just alluded to, so South Carolina had the 3, 4, and 5 part of the order up at the bottom of the inning, needing at this point to score at least 1 to keep the game going. McKenna Gibson, 2 hits last night, 0 for 3 tonight. Hold foul. A 3-run 4th for Tennessee, now a 5-run 6th. Back up the middle, diving stop. Blankenship just able to knock it down and keep it on the infield. Gibson has a base hit.
Not much Blankenship could do on that one either. Shaded a bit more over to the 5-6 hole, maybe anticipating that McKenna Gibson was going to pull that to the left side. Had to run a long way just to keep it into the infield. She's another one who I've always enjoyed watching play defense. She has such a quick release when she's fielding the ball over at shortstop.
Jackie Kirkpatrick off the bench to run for Gibson. Riley West will come up for Tennessee. She is the 9th batter to come to the plate in this top of the 6th inning. Riley 0 for 2 tonight. She led off the 4th with a walk, and that kind of opened the floodgates. She would later score. A little excuse me swing up the first baseline to coming to its inning for Bryant. It's going to lead off.
Runs have been extremely hard to come by, facing Pickens, now going on close to 60 innings pitched, and she's only given up 1 earned run.
Tennessee 8 runs now, 11 hits tonight. South Carolina scoreless on 3 hits, back-to-back singles to begin the 2nd. Desiderio leadoff base hit in the 5th. just have not been able to find that key hit with a runner in scoring position in this series.
It seemed like their best opportunity to score was back in the second inning, where they got those 2 base hits and then a beautiful sacrifice bunt laid down by Carly Henderson. But then a strikeout and a ground out to end that bottom of the second.
Carlin Pickens. Good strikeout number 8.
Goes with the rise ball on this one. Working up and away. Some good run on this pitch as well. As a batter, you have to make your decisions with her velocity so fast that it can often lend itself to batters swinging outside of the zone at pitches they wouldn't normally swing at, because that decision has to be made so quickly.
Bunt laid down by Kiana Jones, foul. By the way, when we are finished here in Columbia, we'll send you to SEC Now with Peter Burns. Stick around for that show. Maybe catch a little conversation with Carlin Pickens after the game.
Go, KJ. Here we go, KJ. Get it to set.
Jones has one of those 3 hits. She's the one that led off the second with a base hit.
Only one of the base hits has actually left the infield, and that was the leadoff base hit by Desiderio. Now, Kiana Jones did hit it hard. It just got deflected off of the glove by Carlin Pickens.
And Destiny Rodriguez almost kept Desiderio's hit on the infield with diving attempt before it went into center field. So to this point, Carlin Pickens has been Carlin Pickens.
There have been times where you can see that she's missing her spots a bit, but she's able to regroup very quickly. Not too often have we seen her throw 2-3 balls in a row.
And that's strikeout number 9, and South Carolina's down to their final out.
Another rise ball to get the second strikeout here. She's changing her game plan too as the game evolves. Started off the game throwing a lot more of those drop balls low in the zone. Middle part of the game, we saw a ton of changeups. Majority of her strikeouts today have come on that changeup, and now here in the 6th inning, working more the top part of the strike zone.
So you start looking at this Tennessee team, and if you try to find some weaknesses, I'm having a hard time finding them. The home run by Pooney tonight, 50th home run of the season for Tennessee as a team. They're hitting well over 300 as a team. They steal bases. They're close to 50 on the season. They have a team ERA that's just a hair over 1. They play well defensively. Good luck if you're trying to poke holes in Tennessee and find some deficiencies. They're off to a strong start. And Pickens finishes the game, striking out the side, finishing with 10 Ks. And Tennessee run rules South Carolina in 6 innings, 8-0.
Another dominant outing this season for
Trash music. Let's walk. Yo, listen up, let me take you on a journey. A quest for self-discovery, the path is never blurry. Through the highs and lows, we'll find our way in the depths of our soul, where our dreams lay. From the city streets to the mountain peaks, we'll search for answers when our spirit speaks. In the silence of the night and the chaos of the day, we'll seek our truth in every single way. And as this journey of self, we rise and fall. Through the twists and turns, we hear the call of our inner voice guiding us along. In the pursuit of self, we'll find what we would like. With this journey of self, we rise and fall. Through the twists and turns, we hear the call of our inner voice guiding us along. In the pursuit of self, we'll find what we would like. In the faces we meet and the stories we hear, we'll find reflections of ourselves, crystal clear. Through the trials we face and the battles we fight, we'll uncover our strength in the darkest night. With each step we take and each choice we make, we'll shape our destiny with every move we take. For the journey itself, it's a lifelong quest to discover our purpose and be our best. And as this journey of self, we rise and fall. Through the twists and turns, we hear the call of our inner voice guiding us along. In the pursuit of self, we'll find what we would like. So let the music play as we journey on in the pursuit of self till the break of dawn. For in the depths of our being lies the truth, and in the journey of self we'll find our youth. Yeah, on this journey of self we'll find our way through the highs and lows, come what may. For in the pursuit of self we'll come to see that the greatest adventure lies within you and me.